Good morning. Welcome to the DFS YouTube channel. I am Razzle, and you can find me on Twitter at Razzle11Grinds. Going to take a really quick look at pitching for today. We just have 6 games to work with, so uh, not a whole lot of excitement. We'll take a look at the main 4 gamers for the day. I really hate these 11 a.m. starts, Central Time, I guess, but it is what it is. My pitcher pool for this 4 gamers not going to be limited all that much, I guess. We can start with the 2 guys that I'm definitely on the fade side with would be Tyler McGill and Trevor Anderson, or Tyler Anderson, sorry. Well, um, just not exciting taking a left-handed pitcher against Baltimore with some of their power. He's not shutting teams down. Obviously, he did against Milwaukee, but if you've seen my videos and my content, you know I've been loving left-handed pitchers against Milwaukee, so that performance does not shock me at all. Shut down Oakland, big deal. One of the worst offenses in baseball. Aside from that, look at all these performances. Not really something I'm interested in. Has cut his home runs down over his last handful of starts, but there's a lot of walks. I'm just not really interested against the Baltimore offense today. Tyler McGill against Tampa Bay, the best offense in baseball. No thanks. Congrats to anybody that used Senga last night for some unknown reason. He had a career game against the best offense in baseball. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's a huge outlier performance, and we won't see him dominate the best teams again the rest of the year. But anyways, Miguel, just not really interesting. Started the season out with a 7K game, and then he's topped out at 4Ks, a bunch of walks, can allow some home runs, hasn't in a few starts, multiple runs, just not exciting, and I'm not picking on Tampa Bay. Like, if I'm not going to use Senga against Tampa Bay, there's no way I'm using McGill. If somebody wants to use him, so be it. I'm going to take the other side. Those are really the 2 guys that I'm definitely eliminating. There's a good chance that Trevor Williams probably ends up somebody I'm not using, but he is capable of being decent right now, but he's also capable of being terrible. So, it's interesting. He's been terrible on the road, something to definitely pay attention to. Miami's offense just isn't great, so I can understand it. I may just try to avoid it any chance I get, and go with maybe the top 5. And even then, Logan Allen is somebody that, while I liked him in his debut and the couple starts after, coming off of a rough start against LA, his numbers have just trended down from that first start to now. I don't know. I don't think highly of the White Sox offense overall, but I think it could be a spot where Allen just underperforms, especially at his price point. So he's somebody that I'm kind of wavering on at this point. Kind of put him in with Williams for now, which leaves us with Cease, Wells, Taj Bradley, and Yuri Perez as our main targets. Yuri Perez, Taj Bradley, young guys with a ton of ability and upside. Yuri Perez has the better matchup. Taj Bradley has shown it. Up until last night, the Mets had been pretty cold, but they did wake up last night in a big walk-off home run. But I really like what Taj Bradley is capable of doing. There is some volatility to him, but there is also volatility to somebody like Dylan Cease. But being such a short slate, we have to consider Cease, even though we look at some of his performances this year as complete trash. He is coming off of a great performance against Houston. Strikeout numbers still aren't there. Controlling the walks a little bit better, but I want to see some strikeouts again. Hopefully they show up at some point. Not a great matchup for strikeouts, but let me take a look here. We should see Cease taking on the Guardians without Jose Ramirez yet, who's on the bereavement list. I would guess he's not going to be activated right away. Josh Naylor left Tuesday's game and was sat out yesterday, so there's another bat in the middle of the lineup that could be out again. Uh, just a great matchup for Cease if he can figure it out. Tyler Wells has been throwing the ball really well. Uh, Shockingly, it's just something I did never expected. Coming off his best start of the year, I generally hate taking on the Angels with pitching just because the top of that lineup can do so much damage in a hurry. But I wouldn't be shocked if somebody rests today with an early start time. But obviously, with the pitching on the slate, Wells is one of the better options, so that's saying quite a bit. Yuri Perez, 20-year-old, gave up a couple solo home runs in his debut. Racked up pitches, so that's a worrisome, but they did let him throw 88, so I have to think he's perfectly fine and obviously in a great matchup. So I have no problem going heavy on him in this spot. Quick look at the 2 game night slate. Pitching is just not great based on the matchups. Pitching by name is there, right? Like Urias and Barrios, Cortez, and Wainwright. These are all household names, but um, I'm a Urias fan. He's given up too many home runs right now, and the Cardinals are a hot offense, and they have some guys at the top of the lineup that absolutely destroy left-handed pitching. Uh, so there's a lot of worries here, but the problem is we just have to eat it because I don't think any of these pitchers go through a clean, 5 to 6 innings tonight. Barrios has been sensational at home. Started out the season really rough, but has turned it on since then. Had a rough start at Boston, but followed it up with 2 strong ones. His Ks bounce all over the place. Um, we just saw Bassett shut down the Yankees last night. Brios could do something similar. Uh, so he might be my SP1 on this 2 gamers, which is really tough to trust. Cortez just does not look like the same guy as last year, but I think last year was a little bit more of an outlier. He kind of had bounced around before that, so like it was a bit more surprising. So I don't really love it, but we have to keep him in play. Uh, we just don't have the options. Same with Wainwright. Don't love it. Probably going to be my lowest owned of the 4 guys, but I will have some exposure. Traditionally, Wainwright loves pitching at home. Uh, in his first start of the year, he started out decent, kind of hit a wall, and that it's kind of to be expected with him being out for so long. Rough start at Boston, but games at Boston were pretty high scoring. Obviously, a very difficult opponent in the Dodgers, but I mean, we just have to use all 4 of these guys. If you're single entering, then you're probably going with Barrios and then probably Urias, but it doesn't feel great. So there we have it. If you like what I bring to you, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on. Get an alert every time we drop a video here at DFS Army. If you want to join us, I will put links in the description below. Use promo code RAZ, R-A-Z, for 10% off your monthly membership. And as always, best of luck, everybody.